Hey guys, it's Oliver,
And it's Ethan.
and today we're going to do a game chat on Gran Turismo Sport. So, Gran Turismo Sport is a racing game, a racing simulator that's it's exclusive to PS4. And it's supposed to be, it is supposed to be, and it kind of is, one of the most realistic driving simulators there are. You've probably heard of other Gran Turismos. There's Gran Turismo all the way from 1 to 6, and this is the newest one. They're currently working on Gran Turismo 7. It hasn't been released yet, but it is an extremely amazing racing
It's
simulator. One of the big things is obviously the cars, of course. Gran Turismo pays a huge amount of attention to each individual car. That's why they didn't make a whole bunch in this one, because they wanted to make sure they pay more attention to each car instead of making a lot more cars. And what's kind of interesting is there's cars, and what's kind of funny is there's also go karts. They're a lot of fun
oh
to
yeah,
drive.
they're and I mean you also have the different kinds of cars. Like you can go, you have
Hmm.
off roaders, you have race cars, track cars. You also have road cars, so cars that are more meant like for the road or meant for the track
Exactly.
or dirt.
Hmm.
There's also supposed to be snow cars, but this version of the game doesn't actually allow for snow tracks.
Not sure why,
Yeah.
because you can see it in some of like the trailers, but it's not there. It's kind of strange, but anyway. So they have also all like normal cars, and they also have cars that are like not really existent in the world. And those are called Vision Gran Turismos. And Gran Turismo, since like the start of their games, has been partnering with all these different companies to make a concept car, and they have them all in there. And one of the concept cars happens to be the fastest car in the game, and it's called the Tomahawk.
It's a Dodge.
Um, it's a Dodge, exactly, which is kind of strange, but they have that, and it's extremely, extremely fast. Like they can hit like what 600 kilometers an hour
I
or
think
something.
it's more than that, but I cannot remember.
Probably a
We'll
little
show
more.
you in the
Yeah,
clips in the background, but yeah.
we'll show you in the clips. Yeah, goes very, very fast. They also have like Formula One cars, all sorts of other
Yes.
things.
But then some of the actually the Vision Gran Turismos are, well, are actual concepts, I thought, or maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, some of them are.
But yeah,
In fact, most of them are made. Some of them can't drive, but most of them are actually made, and they go around touring with them. I don't know when the next one is, but they have gone around touring with them, and you can go look at those Vision Gran
yeah, I
Turismos.
think such as the Chaparral,
Hmm.
which is this absurd car that has like a giant jet engine, I think it is in the back.
It apparently uses lasers, and it accelerates so fast. It's really kind of
It's a
stupid.
very cool car.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
And so that's it's one of our favorite cars. We both have it, and it
Hmm.
actually out accelerates even the Tomahawk.
Yes. Eventually, it catches up though because it's so fast. But
Yeah. Also, going back to
yeah,
the Tomahawk is a very cool car, but yet you can tell it's very fake because of how quick it brakes after
yeah, the braking is
after
crazy.
going like absurd amount of kilometers. It brakes in like 2 seconds, which would actually destroy a road and the car in the process.
Yeah, and the person inside of this
Yeah. But anyways, it's
kind of
cool.
be dead. It's very cool, yeah. And speaking of that, you can only actually hit 700 kilometers an hour on one track, which we'll be showing you now. And it is a massive track. I
It's
don't actually know if it exists in
oh,
real life,
it's
but there are a lot of tracks that exist in real life in
I
the game.
think almost all the tracks are real in this game,
Hmm.
except for maybe the American track that we just mentioned, and that NASCAR track may be a fake of an actual
It could
NASCAR
be.
track because I don't recognize it. But still, yeah, that American track is meant for really like drag races, I believe, if anything.
Who knows? It's so long,
It's
but you can
absurd.
only reach 700 kilometers or 600, whatever, however fast it is on that track. You can't reach it anywhere else. There's no long enough straight for it.
Yeah.
But they do very good attention to the tracks,
Yeah.
especially the ones from real life.
Yeah, like if you've gone on the like there's a Nürburgring track from like the famous Nürburgring in Germany, and it's actually like even goes from the graffiti on the track is put into the game, which is very
Hmm.
cool attention to detail.
It is very cool to see.
And also, the Nürburgring is the longest track in the game. It's even longer than the
Hmm.
American track, which I mean it makes sense because seeing that the Nürburgring is like the biggest track in the world. It's
Hmm.
also pretty much the best track to test out any car. Like let's say you want to see how good the
Hmm.
handling on your car is, it's a good track because there's straights, but then there's also sharp turns, not so sharp turns. So you can test out what cars are good at doing what on that track.
Exactly. And then once you've gotten good enough in a track like that, you can go to the real life racing events, and they have them like every. Well, it depends. I think it's like every half an
To an
hour or whatever,
hour,
and you can
depending
join
on
these.
which
Yeah, it depends on which one. And some of them have like real life like fuel consumption and tire wear and mechanical damage, and others have
penalties
just
too.
penalties, and it depends on which one you choose. And some of them you could pick like any car from a range of specific horsepower or um, the grades.
Grades,
Yeah,
sorry.
the grades. You could do that, or they have some where you have to pick a specific car,
Which is usually a
and they're a
Honda.
lot of fun. A lot of them seem to be Hondas, yeah, but it's a lot of fun because you get to race against real people. It's sometimes difficult because some of these guys are really pros and they've got like racing entire racing setup and everything. But if you don't want to play against them, you can play against the AI, or you can play with your friends in an online room, or
Hmm.
you can just join some random person's online room. But the AI in this game, they are pretty difficult. They are not very easy. Depends on what mode you
Yeah,
set
I
them on,
mean,
but
they do follow an exact line. So let's say you're trying to take a corner, the AI will take that corner on the exact line. It doesn't care if you're there or not. It'll like bump into you.
yeah, sometimes they do. I mean, sometimes they'll stop, but like other times I've had it like where I just stop in the middle of the road, they'll stop, and some of them just barrel right through you and just kill you. Speaking of that, sadly, there is no real damage on these. I mean, you get scrapes of paint and stuff, but no like bumper falling off or the entire car smashing into a wall and breaking, because this is not a crashing simulator. It's a racing simulator, and it's meant to, get the real feels of racing.
Yes, exactly. And with that, like we were talking about that the other day, like it's like you can like your car will start having like turning problems. Let's say if you take a bad damage hit and stuff, and all that. But what's cool is they actually have pretty realistic pit time. So like your car will have to slow down in the pits. Some games like
Hmm.
your car can go like 100 miles, 100 kilometers or 100 miles, whatever, in the pits. And then unlike this game where it's like your car actually slows down, it takes a while to actually get to where you're supposed to be getting your tires changed and stuff.
Hmm.
You can actually they even in this game, it's what's pretty cool is it actually lets you change your different types of tires. So soft, medium,
Yes,
hard, super soft, like in an
you can
actual
change almost
racing.
everything.
So
Yeah,
which
you can customize everything.
yeah, and then you also like let's say you have fuel consumption on. You actually can refuel. You can get your mechanical damage repaired if you have that on, and that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Also, going back to another thing, we were talking about penalties. In penalties in this game, so let's say uh, penalties go on according to like actual games. So let's say you go off a track or something, it'll give you
Or you
like a
hit
two
somebody.
second penalty. Or if you hit another racer, I think it gives you a 3 second penalty. And
Yeah,
then there's
exactly.
certain points in the track where it'll slow down your car for that penalty. You'll see in the clip.
Exactly.
We'll show you what happens with that. But yeah, it's actually pretty cool. But I
Hmm.
think in real racing, that's not what happens. I think it just in the
They just
end,
add it to your time.
they just add it to your racing time so that it
Yeah,
can affect
exactly.
your thing. But I
Hmm.
mean, I see why they did it like how they did it because it kind of just makes it easier for the game to just
Exactly.
give it to you at certain points. But yeah, anyways, it's pretty cool.
Also, you may see sometimes that we may be going invisible and that you can go through somebody else. They do this so that it's, one guy can't just sabotage the entire race and just kill everybody. And it wouldn't be really cool for everybody else. So they make it so that if you're about to hit somebody really fast, you go invisible, or they go invisible, or both of you. I'm not sure
Well,
exactly.
if you're actually
Um,
going fast, you'll hit each other. But
yes, that's true. You can turn it off in certain games. But they do that so that one person can't just sabotage the entire race and ruin it for everybody else.
yeah, I think it's if you're going too slow, um, like you'll like let's say I think if you're going under like 15 kilometers an hour, it'll turn you invisible or
Hmm.
something, and it'll
Or
say
if you go backwards on the track.
yeah, go backwards. Also, let's say you would take a turn too hard and end up spinning out. It's just so like even if you don't want to like mean to like cause anyone else in a crash, it won't allow you to, which is nice. So let's say like you spun out, so at least if people are coming in to the turn after you, they're not. It's not going to cause the whole race to be like at a standstill. It will
Exactly.
actually let people go by. But
Exactly.
what's kind of weird is you automatically just come back uninvisible once you come back. So it can actually still cause another accident. Because let's say someone's going 100 miles an hour and you've come back out of your spin and you go back on the track, it'll put you uninvisible and it can cause another accident, which is a
Hmm.
bit weird, but still, at least they kind of did something to avoid causing major accidents in races where you're actually like 20 people, let's say.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah. And what's really cool about this game is it is not a pro game. You don't have to have a racing steering wheel and an entire amazing setup for this. We play it on controllers. I really want to get a racing wheel for myself, but we both play it on controllers, and I don't think we're that bad. But it is not that hard to get good at this game with
Yeah,
a steering wheel.
we're fine at the game. Like, I mean,
It just adds to the experience to have a steering wheel.
it does. Another little cool thing is you actually have little like there's something called driving school, and it can actually help you practice certain things like so how to take a corner properly or how to take a corner without having like let's say you have to take a sharp turn. They'll teach you how to take a sharp turn without having to go to like almost 0 kilometers, so that you can actually out
Hmm.
maneuver other people or let's say AI, for example, which is pretty cool. And then you have like the drift training, which teaches you how to drift and so on and so forth, which is a pretty cool little touch to help people learn better about the game after a tutorial.
Yes, exactly. All right, well, I think we're going to end it here today. And make sure to go check out the game if you liked it. Um, and make sure to like and subscribe. And we're going to be doing some more game chats. Make sure to go check that out. I'm also going to mention that we just hit 100 subscribers, so thank you to everybody subscribing. And be sure to check out, me and Ethan are going to be having our own series very soon on a game called BeamNG Drive, and it's an extremely realistic car game with very real crash physics. So make sure to check out for that.
And also, maybe in the near future, we may do some Gran Turismo racing. We'll see.
Yes, for sure. All right, thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.
Bye.